Yesterday, police say Brendan O'Rourke parked his car outside of Kelly Elementary School, jumped a fence, and began firing rounds at children in the school's playground.
He seemed like a loner. I'm not surprised, because I was kind of scared of him.
He was shooting at the children, and he was pretty close to the kids as well.
And then I'm like, Phoebe, come on, this isn't okay. And so I started running.
2 students were hit in the arm before bystanders were able to apprehend O'Rourke. Both children are expected to make full recoveries. Burke was arrested on suspicion of 6 counts of attempted murder and numerous weapons violations. His motive remains a mystery. And joining me now in an early show exclusive, Scott Chandler, a neighbor who came face to face with the alleged gunman and helped secure him until police arrived. And Scott joins me now from San Diego. Scott, well done. Good work on your behalf. Take me through it. What did you see? How did it all play out?
Good morning. Yeah, it was right about noontime. I've lived for probably 15 years across the street from the school. Both my daughters have attended that school and just graduated last year. So a pretty tight-knit group of neighbors, you know, keep an eye out on things, especially living right across the street from a school. I was working on a personal watercraft in my driveway right about noontime and heard one of the first gunshots go off. A neighbor down the street works on a few cars. I thought maybe a car had backfired and whatnot, but I walked out just to make sure and check. Didn't see his other truck down there, and then heard another gunshot. Ran across the street. They do quite a bit of outside assemblies. They got a great staff at this school, so they do a lot of stuff outside. And I was thinking it was some kind of assembly or at first a drill, a school shooting drill. I'm standing up. And my house sits about 50 or 60 feet up on the hill, so I'm looking down on the schoolyard. So,
all right, so you see that this guy is shooting. You come up on him, and then you take me. Well, I mean, what happens at that point? You said bullets are falling out of this guy's pocket. Well, what's going on here?
So he starts firing rounds. The kids chaos, screaming, running, and what looks to be when things kind of clear, I see a few adults, and the gunman still firing. I start running downhill. There's about a eucalyptus tree about every 30 feet, so I'm kind of taking cover, running down the hill, taking cover. These guys are in a full-blown argument. This time I realize that it is not a school drill, that this is something real. They're chasing the suspect, actually starts running across the field to the fence where I was at, where I was running downhill. So we all kind of met at the same spot. I was tucked, it might have been behind his vehicle at the time.
Yeah.
When he came over the fence was at that time a black truck had pulled up, which I'm hearing now is another one of the construction workers that either hit him with the truck or knocked him to the ground. When I popped up behind possibly his vehicle, the construction workers that had been working on the school had him on the ground, subduing him. I helped out at that time. Once the 2 first patrol cars arrived and detained him into custody, I jumped the fence. I'm pretty good friends with the principal and asked her if she needed help to make sure any of the other kids were safe. I then did a room-to-room visual inspection through the windows. Being that it was lunchtime,
yeah,
some of the rooms were empty. The kids kind of scattered. I did come up across a blood trail on the ground and then called 911 to let them know there are injuries. When
you guys came upon this suspect, what kind of condition was he in? Well, I mean, what's he saying? Is he yelling anything? What kind of mental state was he in?
There was a lot of screaming, and it was hard to tell who was screaming. I've heard different slurs that he was saying from some of the other neighbors, but he was, at that time, put it this way, the construction workers, I believe, were all wearing steel-toe boots, and he took a pretty good beating. I looked at him right eye to eye. I said, why are you shooting at kids? What's your motive? What are you doing? He kind of grunted, didn't make any comments.
Yeah.
Looking into his eyes, he had the crazy look in his eyes. He wasn't all there.
All right. Hey, Scott, thanks so much for taking the time and telling us your story this morning. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Glad you're safe. That's Scott Chandler out of the San Diego area.